Hello everyone. For today's video, I'm going to be teaching an arrangement of When You Wish Upon a Star. Well, the A section anyway. Let's have a bit of a go. So I'm going to play through it and then I'm going to explain to you what I'm doing and what I was thinking. Okay, if I know what I was thinking. Okay, so that's it there. That's through the A section. There is a B section to it, but I might save that for a performance with my fiance who's been learning it on double bass as well, which will be really good fun. Until then though, let's have a bit of a look at this. So, the first chord of the song is a C chord, okay, and the first note's in the melody, G and a C. So really quite simple. I've played the root note, I've pinched the melody note here, and then I've gone to there. But I've done that by barring. So we're pinching the 5th string and we're pinching the 4th string, and I play that string up, that note up there. So we're playing it's like a power chord really in the end. But everything other than that C are part of the melody. Okay, so there's that. Now for the next part, I'm going C sharp and an F. So again, this is bass line. This is melody. Okay. Now, the reason I'm playing a C sharp there is it's the major third of the next chord, which is an A7. So I'll put the chords below. If you've got to this point and haven't looked in the description, jump down there now. I'll put the chords that follow along to this melody. So, okay, next up D minor, and the melody goes C sharp and D, and then A. Now what I'm doing here, so this is the D, root note of the D minor. Now my pinky goes to the F natural, which is the minor third of the D minor. Okay, so we're not changing chord, essentially, we're just changing bass note. We're moving from one chord tone to another. Okay, now if you're having trouble following that, of course it's YouTube, use the video, go back, watch. I like to think it's clear enough, and you know, occasionally I get comments that complain about the speed. You've just got to, you know, just try your best, take your time. I can't cater to everybody's skill level in one video, I'm afraid, so I just try and do my best. So, now from here, hopefully you're familiar with this melody. And you can see how this correlates. Now if you're more advanced, you're probably thinking, get on with it. Thus the challenges of YouTube. Anyhow, from here, the next chord is actually the next chord in the song is actually I have to think about this. Oh, so we had a C chord, A7, D7. Then it's a G7. Okay, so after we've done that, I play a B natural in the bass. Why? Because it's the natural third of the G7 chord. Okay. The melody at this point, B. Okay, and we resolve on the C there, and the chord has also returned to a C. So let me play that with my bass line. Okay, so we've got from the G chord. Okay, so here's the melody, here's the bass line. Now at this point, I actually use the D to match the melody right there, because it's the 5th of a G7. Okay, so hopefully you start to catch on here that utilizing chord tones gives you a little bit of flexibility. It means you can kind of move around on the chord tones of each chord as your bass line, whilst matching it with your melody. And you can do it however you like. I could actually go. So I swapped it around. I played the F first, and then I played the D, and then I could go to the B, the D. Okay, except that D would have been wrong. Let's come back to where we were. So now, from the point where you played the B, okay, then we played the D here, we played the melody. What I do here, okay, the next chord is a C diminished after the G, and that at this point we get the C diminished here, so it goes da da da. Okay, so what I've done here, a C diminished has a minor third, just like other chords. I've just used the E flat and played the melody, which goes. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole thing again. Got the D, the F, which is the third of D minor, B, third of G, D natural, fifth of G, E flat, which is the minor third of the C diminished, move it up into the natural third of C major, because the chord changes at that point to C major. And then when I play this, so I'm playing a G here, and then I'm going to the C as I resolve to the C chord. Okay, so it's challenging, and I hope I didn't confuse you too much when I started talking about how you can move those bass notes around. If you're not particularly advanced, ignore that bit and just pick up that last part as. But if you're more advanced, listen to that part and think, well, hey, this is a fairly simple concept if I know my chord tones, and a great way to put together arrangements very quickly and easily. From here, we get to this part. Now, once you've learnt that part, that's essentially the rest of the song, or the rest of the A section, because it simply repeats. It just resolves on a different note. So I'll walk you through this, and then you're pretty much done. So if you've kept up, congratulations. If you're working on it, keep going. So from here, I've used more of a traditional approach that I would normally use, which is to work off chords, and I've put together a lot of arrangements just working off chord shapes. But with this particular one, I really wanted to challenge myself with more of a counterpoint bassline melody type thing. But using chords, I'm playing an E minor, and the melody happens to be a D. So I'm playing this beautiful chord, and I'm playing the D natural here at the top. So that's a good old E minor chord. That's on the 5th string, 7th fret, 4th string, 9th fret, 3rd, we're playing the 7th by barring, 2nd string, we're using a 2nd finger on the 8th fret, and 1st finger, pinky is there. So we've got. Now what I do is I play with my pinky, and then my 2nd finger flattens to get the C natural on the 8th fret. We were playing the 10th. So now I'm using this diminished chord, just like that, 6th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, starting from the 5th string, respectively, 6, 7, 5. Pinky on the 7. Okay, and I go, and I let my thumb kind of roll across, something like that. That's a nice way to do it, and that's the melody. So that was the 7th fret, and then the 5th at that point. Okay, now the reason I'm using that diminished chord there, in a lot of pieces you'll find that diminished chord works as a really nice connecting chord. You know, instead of going E minor, A7, D minor, you can actually, it's quite a nice little substitution of sorts, I guess, but it also just is what it is, something you'll see quite a bit. So we're going, okay, then from there, D-7, just like we did the E-7, only this time, that's the pinky and the second finger are working on the second string, on the 8th fret there. Okay, and again, I'm picking the 5th, 4th, 3rd. Now we come back one more, and we do that diminished shape again. Okay. I'm not sure I picked that note there at all, actually. I don't know why I did that. So we do this diminished shape, 4th fret on the 5th string, 5th fret on the 4th string, pinky on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Pick your 5th string, in between, pick the 4th string, then drop your pinky out of the way and roll, like go to your 1st finger. So, okay, so we're up to the dreams come true part. And I just use a D-7, okay, but barring right across so we get that 1st string. Okay. And then you could use a G7. I'm basically just using this G7, so that's 3rd fret on the 6th string, 3rd fret on the 4th string, and 4th fret on the 3rd string. Okay. Now I sometimes use a sus chord. I go like, and then a regular C chord with that extra note in the bass, or sometimes you can do this C6 without the root. The first time you play the A section though, you'll actually do this. You'll play those last chords, you might go, oh, there we go, sorry. And then, so that's the way you resolve the first time around. The last time around we resolve on this note. First time, you resolve there, so you might go C chord like that. Last time, you'll go. I really need to play the melody note if I'm demonstrating it. So, I know that may not have been 100% linear the way I taught that, but hopefully you can put that together and have a little think about it. It's really just a deconstructed, lesson on my own particular arrangement. So, and it's one I've kind of been mucking around with too. Okay, you can take that stuff into chet territory and thumb picking stuff like. Maybe I'll do a little recording of it that way as well. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. It's nice to get a chance to put up a lesson. I've been extremely busy at the moment. I'll definitely expand into more of this stuff later in the year. I do have plans to really get a bit more back into it because I know I leave you guys hanging way too long. And it also shows in my YouTube rating and views and stuff. It's like it's up and then it's really down, and yeah, it's a shame because I really do enjoy this. So anyway, thanks to everyone who watches. There's a lot of you guys that comment regularly and I really appreciate it, especially if you've watched to this point in the video. You've got a great attention span. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. I'll try and think of some more cool stuff, but don't be afraid to ask if there's anything that you guys like. I'll see you later.